Hello! Today we are going to talk about this helmet that I created for cosplay, and it's already falling apart, but that's why I want to redo it. I want to refurbish it, well, not refurbish it, but like completely redo it, so there's more housing, and it's a bit safer to wear, better ventilation. But anyhow, let's go ahead and talk about this. So of course the key part here is the visor. It's one of the biggest things about this helmet, and probably one of the most important parts. This thing can come on and off with ease, thanks to a series of magnets attached to it. So if you look up here, there's a whole bunch of magnets up top, and that whole white strip in here is embedded with magnets. And there's the electronics themselves. This is the electronics, the way they're housed, because I just didn't have enough room. They take up 2/3 of my vision. So the part that I see through is literally this little wedge right here. This whole area right here is what I have to look through. So my vision is relatively narrow, and I have to be careful where I walk around and all that stuff. But if I use the computer and play video games on it, it's not too bad. But I do have problems seeing colors correctly, so that's a thing. And of course this fell off because the Velcro fucking sucks. But yeah, this is what it looks like underneath. It's built off of the thing that just stopped working. It's built off, I'm just gonna take this off. Fuck this. The jaw set is actually built off of one of those Jurassic Park dino masks, and then I just modified it a lot. Getting it to work the way I wanted to was probably one of the biggest hurdles here, and just creating this was also a pain. I went through like several revisions for this alone. It was a lot, and I sincerely wish that I just invested and saved up for a 3D printer instead of going through the woes of this headache. But that's going to be my future plan at some point. And there is a little tongue in here that doesn't really get to be seen much, but it does exist. And there's a little chin strap in here to help with the sensitivity of the jaw set right here. Because you would buckle, basically you would, just like with a regular helmet, you would buckle yourself in, and then this would help puppeteer the jaws. So yeah, these take off for maintenance, as you saw, and then I'll have a photo, but some bits and bobs of the helmet actually glow in the dark, so you'll see that soon. It's not going to be the best picture because I don't know how to take good glow-in-the-dark night pictures, but it's there. You can at least see that it works. And these move up and down just like real bird crests, because the animal that the helmet is based off of is dinosaurs, specifically theropods, and birds belong to that group, so it just made sense to make it like this. Plus it just makes housing a bit easier for me. This is just galvanized wire, so it's less likely to rust. That's just for aesthetic purposes. It really doesn't really get much in the way, other than get the illusion that there's supposed to get the illusion that there's tubing or something that goes down underneath the shirt when you wear it. And then there's also this little harness. Fucking hell. Fuck me. I can't do this with one hand, but my light doesn't want to cooperate. My little night light thing doesn't want to cooperate with me, so this is what I got to do. But anyhow, there's a buckle here. You would snap this off. You would thread your belt through here from your back. So you would thread it through your belt, and you would have it attached to behind your back. And then you would buckle this. You would basically weave your hands through and try buckling this on from behind. It's a bit tricky, but you do get used to it and you figure out a way how to put it all together. Basically, this is here to help redistribute the weight of this helmet, because this does get a little bit heavy after wearing it for a couple hours. So this helps a lot. And with this, the electronics in here are, well, this is what it looks like. It's powered by an Arduino, and then most of the parts I bought from Adafruit. This is where the power supply is, and this is the Arduino itself. You have two 8x8 Neopixel matrices in here, and it just kind of swings back and forth. That way I just have a little bit of wiggle space and room to attach this on and off, because every single time I tried redoing the housing or adjusting the housing, it just made it real difficult to actually get the visor to snap on. So this was the best compromise or solution that I could come up with. And then how you unplug this. This can recharge. So there's a little, this is where you would charge it with the USB. And then to unplug, to power it off, I don't have a power switch, but in the future I would like to, you know, give it one. So you would have to just pull this out in the meantime to, if I can get it out with one hand. I don't think I can. So you're just going to have to, yeah, just suffer seeing darkness. Unless I edit a video on top, then you'll see that instead. But yeah, you would just kind of wiggle it out and unplug it. It's kind of in there tight, so you have to use two hands. And yeah, so this is what it looks like powered off. So yeah, and this just reattaches back on like that. And there is a specific way to do it. You actually want to swing this here and slide it in, because if you try doing it the other way, I mean, technically you could, but it's it doesn't fit as well. You do have to like slide. It's kind of hard with one hand, but you do have to swing this down and pop it in like that. And that's how you put it all together. I gotta fix this, and the future version, I'm going to make sure to use something like a protogen visor instead as like the base for this type of stuff, and get a 3D printer, so, you know, this isn't so flimsy as fucking hell. Same thing with these. I want to 3D print these instead, because this is literally craft foam with resin painted on top of it. Or not, yeah, literally resin painted on top of it. That's why it's like this. Same thing with this. This is resin. This is just fucking craft foam wire and resin. It's so it's so improvised. I cannot tell you how improvised it is. It's just so bullshitted. But it works. It does what it does. It can survive maybe 1 or 2 outings before I'm just like, yeah, no, you're not going anywhere. You're just going to stay here and cry. And be replaced. But yeah, that's all I got to say. That's how this is put together. I'm not going to do an explanation of the overalls or anything like that, because that's pretty self-explanatory. It's literally just overalls. But I did modify the overalls myself, because they were originally regular ones. And then I completely I made the jacket completely by myself. Anyhow, that is a brief explanation of the helmet. There is more to it, but that's basically the summary. As for the character himself, he's a weird one, because he's supposed to be kind of like a streamer persona, kind of like how VTubers have theirs. And so he has his own background and personality and everything. So I'll have a reference sheet of him up. My main persona is actually a raptor, and I don't have any special name for him. He's just Sam. But I don't think, in terms of physical outings and costuming and all that, you guys will ever see like a costume of him. If anything, it will be like my protogen persona, Reese, that you'll see. That's all I gotta say about that. Some further information about the character in question, the Alien Sam. I really don't have a special name for him because I fucking suck at naming conventions. But basically, he's an eldritch space alien who is the remaining survivor of the species, and he's just been kind of shipwrecked on Earth for so many years, and after intermingling with humans on and off, he just kind of got bored and decided to stream. That's literally his story. But a lot of his condition is like dilapidated and all that, because even though he's a high-tech space alien, he hasn't been able to really get access to a lot of the tools and resources that he originally had back when his species still existed, pretty much. So there's a little whole story about him and like how he got there to Earth, what happened in between, and he also has a companion named Jameson that I still need to design, but I should have a beta design thrown up here as I'm speaking. And I know some other notable or common misconceptions or information people don't really know about him is he's definitely not a robot. He is pretty much he's pretty much mostly organic alien. The only part of him that's, I guess you can say, quote unquote, robotic or cyberkinetic is an implant that is implanted into like his chest, which is a normal thing for his species because that interacts with his helmet and allows him to do a lot of the cool stuff he can with his helmet. Trying to think what else. Also, while he does have a moving jaw on his helmet, that is not like his mouth per se. Like, the jaw is mostly, like, the fact that the mouth is there and it can move is mostly for communication purposes in his species. So if someone were to stick a hand through the jaw or whatever, there would be a face. It's literally an astronaut space helmet. It's just fancier. And yeah, that's all I can say about that. He also can shapeshift and do all that cool body horror stuff, which is why he has he's sometimes seen with multiple eyes or horns or God knows what. Most of the times, though, I just like using his shapeshifting ability to fucking meme. So there's a lot of memes I've drawn with him. But yeah, so not only do I meme with him a lot, but I do want to do like small skits and other short shenanigans with him outside of the Twitch channel that he'll sometimes appear on when I do in-character streams. That's all I gotta say about that. I can't really think of anything else to say at the moment, but I'm sure more information will come up over time. So, yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please come check out my other ones. Thank you very much.